Welcome to the All Signs Report for the astrology. Yes, the astrology of the week of October the 30th. Add 7 days, which takes us about to the 5th of November. We're going to talk today about how there's a positive bit of bright sky on Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, which is Tuesday meaning Halloween in the Western Hemisphere, 31st of the month of October. And that's going to be a trine from Venus to Uranus, bringing love and money surprises. We need a little bit of good news, everybody, because it's been a bleak landscape with a war going on in the Middle East. And a lot of us are feeling very, very heavy about that. Or if you don't, there's maybe something wrong with you. Second of all, we're also going to talk about the sun coming into an opposition to Jupiter. Now, sun opposite Jupiter can be like arrogance, bombastic, self-righteous energy. It's like on steroids, a conviction of one's rightness to the extent that it can be difficult. Now, that can be playing out in the world stage, of course, but it can also play out in interactions you're having in your life at that time. That energy, that difficult sun opposite Jupiter stuff is happening on Thursday and Friday. You may even feel it as early as Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into Saturday. Then we finish the week up with, good old Lord Saturn. Retrograde since June 17th, moving direct, woohoo, on Saturday at 0 degrees of the sign of Pisces. And I did a whole video on that. It just came out today, the day I'm recording this All Signs video for you, October the 29th. And you might want to check that out. I really go into a very long and deep dive into how that movement of Saturn for your sun, moon, and rising sign going direct helps you figure out how to deal with stuff that was going on in your life between March the 7th through to June 17th. So it's like all tied into the past and how you can move forward at last. So let's get talking about the sky. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer using whole sign houses, minor asteroids, fixed stars, trying to help you time your best life by understanding the cycles and rhythms of the sky, or sometimes I jokingly call astrology God's clock, or source clock, or creator's clock, in case if some of you are afraid of the word God. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe and try me out if you're new, and for all my regulars, welcome back. And anything else? Well, I might remind you that my 2024 All Signs videos are now for sale. That's private content that never goes public, 75 minutes each with a PDF guidebook for the year of 2024. It's 35% off right now. It's an enormously cheap product at this point. You'll never see that again to get for $49, 75-minute content times 12. I'll deliver that to your e-box, your mailbox, access to all of those videos and the PDF. I'll deliver that to you on November the 25th, but this is a pre-sale, pre-order time. And if you want to grab it now, it won't come back again at that price. All right. So bottom line, guys, I'm feeling heavy. Like I'm just me. I'm just Lori. I'm just a real person. And so I've been trying to like gin up some enthusiasm for doing this recording today and feeling all peppy and zesty about it. We've been going through on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, the remaining part of that Mars conjunction to Mercury conjunction to Mars and Scorpio. And it actually played out very literally. Mercury is the god of the news, the telecommunications, the internet, text messaging. Scorpio is what is dark and hidden. Mars is cutting and ending. And of course that overlapped with the blackout, literally the no electricity blackout, but the no communications blackout that lasted a little bit over a day in Gaza that Israel created. So that was a literal interpretation. I didn't see that coming, of the Scorpio conjunction to the sun. In our own lives, I delineated that one last week. But now coming into Tuesday, we have a speck of light in the sky, and that is going to be Venus in Virgo. Although in Virgo, I will tell you, she's in a sign of difficulty for her. She doesn't like that detail space. It belongs to Mercury, but she is flowing to Uranus in her home kingdom of Taurus, and Taurus is her place. So that means Uranus takes her orders from her. So Venus is sensible, practical, reliable, but somewhat flexible in the mutable sign of Virgo. She's grounded and she's down to earth as she would be in her Taurus kingdom. There's something about Taurus factors where Jupiter is currently traveling, by the way, and Uranus as well. That could be a bit of money luck or love luck, surprises and developments coming through your sky on Tuesday. I'm going to delineate that for each separate sign. Then secondly, as the week progresses and we hit that sun opposite Jupiter energy, obviously the sun is in Scorpio. It's Halloween, it's Scorpio season up there with Mars and Mercury, and Jupiter is moving through retrograde through Taurus and does not go direct until the end of December. In the world, this can look like kings and power structures clashing, right? Sun can be leaders and kings, like we don't have kings so much these days, but world leaders. And Jupiter can also be the wealthy and moneyed class, but also other power structures, other places of power like kings, and they're opposite each other. They're in an opposition. And I'd say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can expect some serious clash amongst world leaders. Now, because there's a self-righteous, arrogant, bombastic, I got this, I know this, I'm right, I've got the truth, the only truth, that's likely going to look in the world stage like disagreements between nations about what the situation is in Gaza and Israel. So, I mean, watching a lot of media stuff. Joe Biden says we've got Israel no matter what, but he just came out and said Mike Sullivan just came out and said in the United States, they're getting deeply concerned with the civilian casualties in Palestine. The guy in charge of England is starting to mutter some suggestions that we need not a ceasefire, no, not a ceasefire, but a truce in time to get some solutions in there called humanitarian aid for water, for gas, for supplies. They need burn stuff to help people with burns from the bombs, and they don't even have those to help them. Just like read about this poor boy's condition in a hospital doing surgery without the proper anesthetic in the middle of the hall with his family around to amputate his foot, a child. Like, I don't want to horrify you. I mean, sorry, I take it back. Delete, reverse. I know you want to get a cheerful week ahead, so let's go ahead and do that. But I'm just sort of saying what I expect this to look like in the world Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is this energy of this clash of the titans, some world powers, some leaders violently disagreeing. One thinks they're right, the other thinks they're right, and we're going to see some clashing there in the story of the world events. Now, also, the end of the week is also slightly difficult, I'm sorry to say. I mean, we're going to see Venus in an opposition to Neptune on the weekend. Well, yes, of course, Saturn is going direct, and we want to celebrate that in the sign of Pisces. Venus, still in her detriment, is going to be in an opposition to Neptune. So she's in Virgo, Neptune is in Pisces. The two of them are not seeing eye to eye. This is often like a rose-colored glasses look at the world. And Venus is a goddess of love and money and peace. You got to be careful, peace and love, and, what's that old Coca-Cola song? I just want to sing the world a song in perfect harmony. You remember that one from, you guys, I'm born in the 60s. Apple doves and turtle doves and snow white turtle doves or something like that. L.A. Taylor, if you're watching from Scotland, maybe you can give me those lyrics in the chat when we watch the premiere together, but holy man. So, Venus would love to do that with Neptune if they're together in a formative way, like a trine or a sextile. But when they're in an opposition, there's no rainbows and unicorns here. There's like, oh, I think this is all glowy and positive and it possibly could be wonderful. But there's something you're not seeing. So watch out for this sense of the love and money glow, where you see things through a fog or a rose-colored glasses. When it comes to world events, the Libra part of the sky belongs to Israel. It happens to be its ascendant. And that makes the Virgo part of the nation of Israel's sky the 12th house. And that's where backroom deals and negotiations take place. And there could be some chatter in the airwaves that there's a backroom deal and negotiation going on for some kind of solution or some kind of mediation around the conflict, or at the very least humanitarian aid being able to pour in to those 2.5 million Gazans who are in great distress. And if that's true on the weekend of Saturday, Sunday, I don't trust it necessarily because of that Neptunian overlay. This could be a spin cycle. This could be a delusion. This could be an illusion. This may not just be true. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We do have Saturn going direct in the house that Neptune's in, which is wonderful. Saturn wants to make the unreal real and make the visionary and the imaginal tangible and real, but he's just barely moving, guys. He's like turning around at 0 degrees and he's like barely moving. So keep that in mind. And we're going to do your all signs, no more politics. By the way, someone said I have the whole Israel Gaza thing wrong. I don't know any history. Well, now I do. I probably listened to about 30 hours of historical context videos about Gaza and Palestine and Israel and the whole thing. So, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to teach. You do your own reading. I think half the world has started reading about it because everyone wants to know what the hell this story really is about. So I'm neutral as I can be because I'm doing astrology, not politics on this channel, but I'm telling you how the astrology reflects the world events, and that's called mundane astrology. But now we're doing your sign, and this is going to be a quickie. So we're going to get going through each sign. I'm going to talk about two things: your happy, lucky money surprise or love surprise on Tuesday, give or take a day on either side. And then I want to mention how you might come into a clash or a conflict with someone or something, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where you're in a battle of who is right or who has got all the power, or who has got the righteous right to something. And you have to watch out for that for sure. So we're going to go into that for each sign right now. Let's get started. Also, before we do all signs, I just want to say that I did put a video out about the charts of Israel, Iran, some Joe Biden stuff to do with the Taurus eclipse. It's a mundane astrology video. I did not monetize it because I don't think it's appropriate to monetize that content, and it probably will actually be taken off by YouTube because I'm monetizing something traumatic called a war. But I would encourage you to listen to that if you want to know a little bit about some of the astrology of this conflict as it relates to not only the eclipse of October the 14th, but the lunar eclipse on Joe Biden's moon. And on his lot of fortune that's on October 28th. That was just a day before I'm recording this video. You might be interested in that as well. So let's start off with Aries. All right, guys, if you're in the live premiere watching with me and you want to hit my like button, I'd love for you to help the channel grow. Thank you so very much. And you know what? I always like to shout out my regulars. So I've got my little guest book here. Ashley Sending Light. I keep forgetting to say hello to you. Thank you for being a part of my recent live premiere. Chat box stuff and Bold and Beautiful Tarot. I haven't seen you for a while. Strictly Gaming, up at 11 with Kina and Melissa Carey, of course. And so who else am I forgetting? Fran, Oshner, Ace of Spades, Stephanie Vella, Psychic Readings with Rose Flower, Remedy, One Wise Lady, One Rare Bird, Balcon 200. I'm reading The Creator, The Priestess, or just Priestess, Linda Calder, Grounded Extracts, Herbal Empress, who's having a baby soon. These are people I'm getting to know over the course of months now who come to my live premieres. We can engage in the chat. I've got invitations to stay at places all around the world, and I can't wait to meet some of these people. So if you want more of an intimate community on YouTube where you get to know each other a bit more and have a community around astrology, I'm finding doing the live premieres for every single video I do, and there's almost 30 videos a month. Well, at least 26 of them. And being there while my people are watching and talking to them about the content and about their lives is actually useful. It makes this more community instead of broadcast oriented. I am very personal, more vlog style as an astrologer. If you don't like my personal examples, my content, my stories about my life, that's okay. There are a lot of astrologers who just deliver broadcast stuff, so you can go try another channel. All right, so Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Aries, this is in your sky, the energy of the beginning of the week, that trine from Venus. As you can see, there she is in the sign of Virgo, and she's flowing, which is a trine, right? A movement of energy towards Uranus. Now, Venus trine Uranus is something exciting, something unexpected, and it's surprising and all of that good stuff, maybe, but it has to do with money for you. It's definitely for Aries rising, especially Sun and Moon secondarily, a money surprise coming in on Tuesday. And it can happen the day before and the day after as Venus makes that trine. So it's coming from the work area of your chart, the sixth house, so colleagues, work, workspace, boss, employer, employee places, and money. Now, because the sixth house also connects to rental and rental options, you won't believe this. I'm recording on Sunday, and although this is exact on Tuesday, I just got this great rental offer for someone while I'm traveling to just for a month who wants to rent my place because they're between homes, and I will be covering my rent, I think. So you see what I'm saying? There's Lori, Aries, Sun and Moon, the house of rentals, Venus, luck and opportunity, surprise, and Jupiter, money, surprise. So I'm my perfect example for you. This just happened to me. So I guess I could even say you may feel this Sunday, but certainly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's still in play. And this is just an opening. I haven't sealed the deal yet, so I'll let you know. So yeah, money and work surprises, money and health surprises, money and pet surprises, money and rental property surprises, money and debt elimination surprises in positive and bounteous ways that are unexpected and surprising. And Jupiter being in your second house is great for your finances till the end of May next year. No worries, Hail Mary pass, nothing bad will befall you. You will always pick up the pieces and prosper and be very, very happy with your money story by the June of next year. So don't worry if you're worried as an Aries sun, moon, or rising. Now, moving into the end of the week, as we go closer to Thursday, Friday, you may start to feel it Wednesday into Saturday even. You're going to feel that opposition between the sun moving through Scorpio up here and, of course, Jupiter across the way. And you can see on the 30th, it's already here at 7 degrees. So it's kind of engaging even on Monday. And it kind of dominates the landscape. Oops, sorry. I was going to try to advance the chart, but I forgot that I'm not in the right mode for that. But don't worry, no worries. So just know that this is building tension starting as early as Monday, certainly picking up Thursday and Friday into more exactitude. Now, as I said, it's a clash of power, a clash of will, a clash of righteousness, and who is right tends to be like that. But Jupiter is in a money house and the sun is in a money house. And so secret reveals, Mercury, Scorpio, family secrets, spousal secrets, relationship secrets, I don't know, secrets being spilled, and you're like righteously combating it verbally down in the bottom with Jupiter's like holier than thou attitude. But it could also be some kind of conflict here to do with money that you have in alt places like 401ks, investment structures, banking, loans, mortgages, anything like that, where the sun and Mars and all of that is, and Jupiter, who's about making you bounteous and prosperous and making your earnings look good on you. Well, he's retrograde. You're probably concocting new earning strategies, by the way, that'll come to fruition in January. So I would say to you, just be careful not to come into conflict with any kind of financial authority who's trying to tell you what's right. I would go with your own gut. With Jupiter in the second house, you have a lot of your own inner knowing about what to do with your money. So don't take some kind of combative authority figures take on it. If you're married, unfortunately, it's going to be combat and difficult or shared mutual resources to somebody that you're partnered in business or love with. Otherwise, it looks like just a flare around money issues and combat about power and control and who's right. Most of the week. Just live with it. At the end of the week, you got a little delusion, rose-colored glasses about things going on in your Neptune corridor that has to do with maybe an illusion or a delusion around things to do with the self-undoing addiction, bad habits. And you might be coming to terms and trying to square away some realistic way to cope with those parts of your life that may undo you. Taurus sun, Taurus moon, and Taurus rising sign. What happens here is that you start off the week with this lovely feeling it in Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday, Venus trine Uranus. Venus trine Uranus brings you some unexpected love or money surprises, but it is in the house of romantic love. And this is your fifth house of sexuality and romance. This is also the place where you might have creative projects, and you may also have situations going on with entrepreneurial business endeavors, or pregnancy, fertility, and children. Now, not to scare you, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, but especially rising, Uranus in the house of you with Jupiter, girthy belly, trining Venus, unexpected pregnancy test going, I'm pregnant. Some of you Taurus people may experience this in this week ahead, a pregnancy wish come true, or hopefully not a pregnancy shock. On the other hand, your pleasure factor, enjoyment of life is in the fifth house. And, leisure travel, enjoyment of life, the good things of life, the fun of life. Venus brings that there. She's in her joy. She's sensible. She brings you sensible fun. But there's a little jolt of yay you, some unexpected surprise coming in, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, unexpected pleasure. Technically, you can win some money with this too. You might find that your lottery or your scratch and win ticket is a winner. Nice little boost of money luck as well possible. As the week goes on, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday, and you're starting to feel that tension between the sun and Jupiter. And the sun is in the seventh house. That's your marriage partner. That's your business partner. That's your significant relationship. That's a client who's got gnarly sword in his hand or her hand, and they're throwing darts right at you. And you're standing your ground going, I'm right. I'm righteous and I'm right. And they're like, I've got this angry sword of my righteousness and my power and my control aimed at you. Look for power struggles in legal matters, client matters, business partnership matters, and significant relationship matters coming up this week. You end the week with that Venus opposite Neptune. Venus is all about that pleasure, but Neptune is up there in the house of friends who are probably alcoholics or addicts. So be careful, because this is where you might want to stand your ground and say, no, I'm just not going to go hog wild here and do that rave after all. And I don't trust the Molly supply. And Neptune's up there going, let's do the party thing. Let's all get grooving here in some kind of escapism. So you seem to be like almost turning down some escapist opportunities on the weekend ahead, Saturday and Sunday. That's what it looks like to me, technically. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. It's a story here of your surprise and love and money happening to, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing, with that Venus trine to Jupiter. Fourth house matters and 12th house matters. Okay. That can be an opportunity to travel from home, unexpected trip travel opportunity, something pleasurable and joyful in the home coming through from a foreign land, place, foreigner, and foreign shore. My landlord, I'm a progressive Gemini sun, is in Switzerland. Maybe there's some really good news there from her about something to do with my property that I'm renting. I think that the Venus placement here, Venus is trying to beautify your home and bring you pleasure in the home and bring you a sense of comfort and pleasure and enjoyment of your home. That's a story that's going on while she's in Virgo. And she's very sensible about that pleasure. I just cleaned the whole house today. And as she's is trining Uranus, there's a sudden surprise. And it can be a surprise about money if you make money from foreign lands and shores like PayPal, Stripe, and international revenue. So you may have a jolt of good money surprise coming through. If it's love surprise, especially if you're a single Gemini, you may discover that there's a love opportunity with a foreigner or from a foreign shore. You could also get an opportunity for some money from your mom or dad, or especially if your mom and dad are living abroad, if you have parents who live abroad or something like that. When it comes to property, homeland, and real estate, with Pluto in your 8th house, Venus here, and the Uranus Jupiter energy in your 12th, a sudden opportunity to purchase a property or sell a property may emerge for you this week, Tuesday through Saturday. Okay. I don't know, this whole tension coming up on, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the opposition between the Sun and Jupiter. It can look pretty intense if you want to consider that you could be dealing with some kind of combat about who or what is right when it comes to things to do with financial debt, when it has to do with your work habits and routines, when it has to do with your boss or somebody else like a gnarly employer, colleague in the employment space, that's Mars, or, even fraught stories about pets going on this week where you're really dealing with a lot of tension. Now, unfortunately, Jupiter and Uranus are in the house of hospitals. Mars is in the house of pets. I don't want to wish this on any Gemini, but that can be some difficulty with a pet who needs to go to the vet hospital or something this week. Somebody said to me, oh, they unsubscribe because they didn't like the Leo November. Well, a lot of Leos love it because it's too scary and I'm terrifying people. Well, if I say that maybe a pet could pass, don't you want to have a warning that month or that week or something? So everyone, reality isn't all rainbows and unicorns. Things happen really, up and down. We have polarity here. So this is not the most easy place for you, Gemini rising, especially Sun and Moon secondarily. You could have a conflict with a landlord as well as a boss, and somebody's trying to prove they're right. And there could be some people undoing you from behind the scenes as well. Some kind of secret, slimy boss back talking you. That's Jupiter with Uranus. And you get a shocking reveal that's going on. That kind of gnarly stuff is here. At the end of the week with that Venus opposite Neptune, this is going to be more like the weekend. Venus opposite Neptune it's not bad actually, because Venus is going to try to figure out what to do down there. But, Neptune is like, what is this glossy vision or dream you have about your career, and you're trying to make it real, or your reputation. And Venus has got a little bit of a pushback in the 4th house. Maybe there's only so much you can do to get that visionary ability of what you dream your career to be online and up and running and, hitting its true stride. When Venus is like, wait a minute, can we watch some Netflix on the sofa here for goodness sakes and break out the popcorn? Maybe she doesn't want you to pursue the vision. And maybe on the weekend you take a break. That's simple. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and rising sign in the sky. What happens is that you get a love and money surprise somewhere, maybe Monday through Wednesday, as Venus is going to come into that trine to Uranus. Uranus is sitting in your 11th house of windfalls, by the way, pennies from heaven, unexpected gains in your career. Friends and allies as benefactors, people who just want to help you and give you a favor, a leg up, even an elder sibling, can benefit you in a surprising way that revolves around trips and travel opportunities, or things to do with your online world. This is 3rd house Venus matters, or things to do with a skills-based learning or teaching. But certainly Venus does not mind traveling for enjoyment in the 3rd house, and you may have an opportunity for a sibling to visit you or travel to see you or you to see them. Some kind of sibling stories are percolating through houses 3 and 11, 3 the younger and 11 the older sibling. If you have siblings, obviously. If you don't, ignore my comment. Venus in the 3rd house. The 3rd house sometimes can be like that daily, the neighborhood for one thing. And Venus there very sensibly wants to go to the restaurant, the bar, or the spa or the workout place or something in your local hood. Opportunity coming through Tuesday that surprises you, introduced by a friend, asking you to go on that trip with them, to go to that place with them. So it's just like a lovely feeling here, but it can bring some financial bonanza if you work in the online world as a part of your career. Now, there's tension in the sky between the Sun and Jupiter, and that's happening Thursday and Friday, and that can look like you're having a righteous battle with some friend who knows what's true and right, and maybe that battle's not even about you. It could be about your children. Your children may be having some disagreement. Mars here can be children fighting with you, children trying to negotiate, right, with that Mercury there. And there's some kind of hiccup here. And it may have to do with who's in charge of the situation. Hmm. So there can be tension with a child, right? But it's like, why is Jupiter pushing back in the 11th house? So they may be some like elder sibling or a friend who is pushing against something you're trying to achieve with one of your children. So you may be watching the fight back and forth, that kind of thing. And if you're an entrepreneur, you might be trying to kick ass and hustle and get something going in that fifth house. But there's some pushback from someone who's usually an ally, usually a friend, usually a benefactor, or some situation to do with your work and your career gains that's really difficult for you to manage during this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then at the end of the week, Venus will come into that opposition to Neptune. While she's sensible and practical and realistic down there in the sign of Virgo, she's looking up at Neptune, who's got his head in the clouds. He's very enlightenment-y in the house of God. He kind of wants to drink the Kool-Aid, whatever Kool-Aid of enlightenment or spirituality or religion you can find. And she's down in her sensible house of the goddess saying, "Well, let's just cast the oracle of the bones and let's do some tarot cards down." So this can be a conflict about your faith, what you believe in, some spiritual situation that doesn't really sit right with you, especially with Saturn there, like the minister telling you you're all wrong, and you want to hold your ground on something here. Venus is like, I know I enjoy this. I really enjoy doing tarot card readings. So I'm sorry, to your minister if you think it's evil. There's some kind of spiritual pushback, educational pushback too, some illusion, delusion, and misperception about what you can achieve in your higher education goals. And then what happens is Venus is like, well, yeah, who cares anyway? Let's get our mechanics license. Let's get something practical down here. It's a short transit, guys. It's not a long story. It only happens on the weekend. I'm not too particularly worried about it, to tell you the truth. But I'd say for you guys, follow your bliss, follow your heart, because Mercury rules that Venus and he's in the house of joy, and you've got Mars, the god of passion. So if it comes to anything about some kind of disillusionment, about some kind of lofty ninth house spiritual matter, go with what brings you the greatest joy. If you like throwing tarot cards instead of doing your rosary bead, then do it. All right. Leo, sun, moon, and rising, I think this is going to be interesting. Well, you get a money surprise or a love surprise, but it looks like money and career to me. Venus going through the house of earnings and possessions. It's loving up Jupiter and Uranus in your 10th house. So unexpected bonus points on the game board. You get a job you really wanted. You get hired, you get a raise, you get a promotion. The boss loves you up. You get an award, you get a reward, you get a perk. It's definitely good for your finance, self-worth, and self-esteem. Look forward to that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday glow up in the money and career access and reputation as well. Now, when we move into the middle of the week, though, as Wednesday, Thursday, Friday unfold, there's definitely some tension between somebody in authority, like a boss, like a superior, and what's going on in your home life with a solar figure. Now, a solar figure in the house can be a father. A solar figure in the house can be a very controlling patriarchal husband, but a solar figure in the house is objecting to what's going on in your career. I can make a story like, whoa, you get the dream job, but your husband or father or somebody like that doesn't want you to take it. That would be an example. Push pull, who's right? What is the truth? There's a sword down there. The sun is holding the sword. Harsh words, strong communications, Mars, Mercury in the bottom of the sky, which can represent your family of origin and your mother, but the sun is usually a solar figure. So I'm thinking some clash with somebody in your family who's a male, perhaps about something going on in your career and work story, because things are looking good there. Now that you've got a bit of a bubble, a bobble, a wobble in the goodness. You finish off on the end of the week with his energy here of the Venus opposite Neptune, delusionment, rose-colored glasses, confusion. Well, you're confused about your longer-term monies that you share with your partner in love or business, or maybe about inheritance monies from the family of origin, and what's going on here, especially with Mercury and Mars. There's some battles over shared resources with family members, and Venus is holding her own in your second house, and you're literally going like, Venus is giving you some self-worth creds here, even if she's in Virgo, okay? And she does work for Mercury in your fourth house. You may be standing up for something that's owed you, a possession even. Like, I get the sofa. Remember, Dad said, I get the sofa. And you may having this clash about getting what's due you and not giving into, I hate to say Neptune in the 8th house, but manipulation around money matters by a Saturnian figure, question mark? Okay? I don't know who that could be. Somebody elder perhaps. But anyway, it's really hard to say because it's a short-lived endeavor. But watch out for also, if you just quit smoking or drinking or some bad thing that really you shouldn't be doing, gluten eating, this could be a big temptation time where you're really having to dig your heels in on the weekend to hold to your plan. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Hey, if you're in live premiere, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. So lucky love and money surprises are coming through in the sky with Venus going through the house of you. By the way, my daughter's a Virgo rising and she just sent me her Halloween costumes. Like she did a vampire and a I don't know, a brass doll, whatever that is. She had two different parties. And oh my God, does she do makeup great. So Venus has been going through the Virgo rising's house of their identity, their face, their body. Well, not their face, but their whole identity. And so you've been feeling more beautiful, more pretty, more capable of looking good and feeling good and wardrobing up and hair and makeup, doing your hair and makeup in a very sensible and practical way, but looking good. And as Venus is going through here and you're feeling good about yourself on Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, a sudden unexpected money surprise from the Lakshmi ninth house, especially from father figures on the game board. You look like you're getting bonus points here financially, perhaps, but also you could have an unexpected surprise regarding an opportunity to travel to a foreign shore or an unexpected surprise to do with an academic outcome that really, really delights you. My daughter's in university. She'll probably find out she has a great grade or something on Tuesday, give or take a day. Now, as we move forward and we take a look at the gnarly middle of the week, Wednesday through Friday, I'm just going to warn you with the sun opposite Jupiter and it's building all week. You really want to look out for any conflicts you might have with siblings, especially younger, but siblings in general, or cousins or extended family. Certainly also conflict with people who are your neighbors. Those are all third house matters where they have their self-righteous sword up and they are gnarly in their verbal disputes with you or with someone you know. Jupiter in the ninth house can be conflict between, your neighbors and your siblings and your cousins and some authority figure in the ninth house that looks like, I don't know, someone you would look up to, a professor, a teacher, spiritual authority. Now, you may have an inner conflict here too. It doesn't have to always be about other people. And it may have to be a conflict about opportunities in educational settings and opportunities for travel. And you're trying to figure out the best thing to do and what is the right direction to go. But there is a lot of tension here for sure. You're dealing up some significant conflict energy. And if it's an inner conflict, which it could be, Venus is sextiling Mercury and she's in his house. So look to emails and phone calls and those kinds of ways to sort of pound out a solution, negotiate a solution regarding these matters. Jupiter rules your house of marriage and it could be your significant main squeeze wants to travel somewhere and you're like combating that because you want to stay home and stay local. That's just an example. And then at the end of the week, you got Venus opposite Neptune. So watch out for some disillusionment here with your significant business and love partnerships or a client. There may be a sense of being manipulated by that person, or they have pulled rose-colored glasses on you by, putting a face on that's not true about something. And honestly, certainly you could find yourself really having a kind of disappointment or disillusionment with some significant person. It could be a very important friend. It could be a love partner. It could be a business partner. And it can definitely be a client if you see clients and audience people as a part of your path. So a little tension there on Saturday and Sunday, a little disappointment or disillusionment maybe with somebody that you consider a significant person in your life. And they may let you down. They may have spun a story that isn't true and you might be dealing with the aftermath. Now, Libra, sun, moon, and rising. And if you're in the live premiere, hit my like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share my videos. Thanks. So, Venus is your lord, the planetary ruler of you. You're going to be happy when she gets to your sign November the 8th. But right now she's in that backroom deals with negotiations. And here she could be a hidden enemy. So that's just to watch out for women who don't have your back. But she's leaving soon, so don't worry about it. But she is trining and bringing a positive surprise from your 8th house of chunky money. That's your credit card debt, your bank loans, your inheritance money, your taxes, your tax rebates, your insurance payouts, money you share with a business partner or significant other, shared resources. Even stock investments or inheritance money. So with Venus in the 12th, there can be an unexpected surprise from a female in a hospital, a woman who is off to the side. You're not paying much attention to her. You weren't thinking about her at all. And all of a sudden, boom, you've got this financial bonus point on the game board. And I can't tell you what it'll be, but it's definitely coming from the money house. Now, technically, bed pleasures belong to the 12th, and Venus is the goddess of sexuality and bed pleasures in terms of romantic love and enjoyment of pleasure. And with Uranus, this looks like kink. This looks like breaking outside the box. For some of you Libras, you're going a little bit sideways here and you're trying something new. And it looks like it's kind of fun, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if bed pleasures are on your agenda. Then it gets a little tense during the week as we move into this opposition from the Sun to Jupiter. That's Wednesday through Friday mostly. And you feel like, gack. What, you're having a money fight with somebody, something, somewhere, somehow. Venus does rule that Jupiter, Uranus part of your sky, and you may be having a disagreement with a female or someone who doesn't really have your back or something like that regarding shared resources and finances with your significant other or inheritance monies. Or some of the banking stuff I mentioned earlier. Somebody wants to be right, and you've got the sword of Mars, the speech of Mercury, and the solar energy of your vital force combating the 8th house story. So there's a lot of tension around money, basically, and you may be the one voicing extreme dissatisfaction, especially around money you share with a significant partner, because Mars does rule the house of marriage. So business partner, money partners, shared partner monies can be very much a space of tension during Wednesday through Friday. And then we move into the story of the weekend with Venus coming into an opposition to Jupiter. Well, to opposition to Neptune, it's on the axis of addictions. And if you're a Libra and you're working to kick a bad habit or an addiction or something like that, this is definitely a moment of weakness where your Neptune is kind of like, ooh, let's go get down and have fun. And your Venus is like, let's get some pleasure. And it may not totally jive, but there can be some disappointment with somebody in the workspace or some situation in the workspace, especially here. And so there may be an illusion that's dispelled about maybe a colleague or something, could be female, who you realize is maybe not your ally after all. So watch for some rose-colored glasses to be removed at that time. That's just next weekend, a bit of collegiate disappointment with colleagues and coworkers or employee-employer stories. Now we have Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Scorpio, this is all you happening here, by the way. Look at all that energy you've got going, but we'll get to you in a minute. We're going to talk about Venus first. So Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, good old Venus is in a flow to Uranus, bringing unexpected, delightful surprises with your significant business or marriage type partner, significant relationship, monogamous relationship. They may have the good news. They may have the positive surprise because it's coming from them. And it's also influencing your greater gains from your career, your sense of karmic rewards, your sense of some positive pennies from heaven vibe, Venus in your 11th house. Now, an elder sibling or a friend as an ally could also be having a surprise for you and your significant other that really delights you as well. It looks like a social energy to me as opposed to a monetary energy, but it could still be a little bit of money involved. So a very positive social opportunity coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that surprises you. Now, if you have legal contracts and deals you're trying to affect in your life in any way, especially around creative projects or entrepreneurial endeavors, this could also be the fruition of that. And you may look to a female to be an ally during Monday to Wednesday. Now, as you move into the week, it gets a little tougher Wednesday through Friday because the sun is opposing your Jupiter. You have strength. You have Scorpio, Mars, your ally, your planetary lord in the house of you. Your words are sharp and determined and combative, which you need them to be, but you're also very stealthy and you can like do your, what do you call it? Like more of a play the person, play the situation with your little bit of manipulation if you need to. This is Wednesday through Friday, and your solar force, your whole like solar plexus is behind this. And as you're facing your other, is that a business partner? Is that a client? Is that a legal situation? Is that a love partner? You're opposing them. You're really having that tension Wednesday through Friday. But you're surprised maybe because even though Jupiter's in the opposition crosshairs, Uranus is nearby. So your partner with Jupiter there is getting a lot of luck and a lot of opportunity for great luck in many different ways in their life over the next year until the end of May next year. So you got to cut them some slack. If it's a romantic partner, this too shall pass. And I do not think that this is like a total end of a relationship by any means, but there's some surprise definitely early in the week from that partner that's good. But then there's this tension about who is right about something Wednesday through Friday. And then at the end of the week, you get that Venus opposite Neptune in the house of children and romance, Neptune in the house of romance, children, creative projects, Venus opposing from the 11th. It looks like social obligations with friends or pleasurable activities with others is getting in the way of some dreamy project or some creative project that you wish to do. Could be music, could be photography, could be writing, filmography, very Neptunian stuff down there. You may face the tension on Saturday as well of some disillusionment with a friend or somebody you consider to be an ally. But yet it really feels like a push-pull between a social obligation and a creative or entrepreneurial project or endeavor. I'll go with that. Sometimes Venus in the 11th produces fertility. Neptune is disappointment or confusion. So are you pregnant? Is your partner pregnant? What's really going on here? Especially with that shocking Uranus-Jupiter combo in your 7th and Venus, the exaltation lord of your 5th. You may be looking at some fertility issues with your partner and some confusion on the weekend. You or your partner, but your partner probably. All right, Jupiter, Sagittarius. Hey, have you hit that like button? Have you subscribed? Have you shared my videos? I don't want to beg, but please do. Thank you. If you're in the live premiere, especially. Any time's good. Sagittarius. Venus is in your 10th house of career. She's loving you up there, trying to help you get raises, promotions, a better spin on you, a better profile, more popularity and appeal. You just should be having a glow up in your reputation and career part of your sky. And if you're not working, just you have a good reputation right now. And at this time on Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, she comes into a surprising trine to Uranus in your 6th house of work, and this can be an opportunity, a new job, a raise, a promotion coming through Tuesday and either side of that, or some exposure that you didn't really know you were going to get, like you get to go on a podcast, a show, a radio show. You're in the spotlight here. Now, Jupiter is supporting that Uranus story, bringing you bounteous, good work opportunities and surprises, but also for your health, it's very good as well. And you may have a surprising new result regarding some kind of health matter that you're just delighted by and allows you to shine more brightly as a big, beautiful Venus energy in that career and reputation space. Later on, though, it gets really tense on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that's when that opposition from the sun is going to really grind at you, as there's Jupiter who wants to be right in the workplace, in the tenancy and rental situations that you may be involved in the situation of eliminating debts if you have them, in the situation to do with pets. Jupiter wants to be right and righteous, and the sun in the 12th house is also pretty strong and wants to have the sword in the sun's hand. Now, technically, you could have some solar male figure in a hospital setting or a prison setting or mental health setting, throwing sharp energy at your work situation, at your tenancy or pet situation. But if you make money from foreign countries or you are traveling to a foreign country, this can be some tension, but some health situation, basically. So be careful for that. You might have to, you may have a surprising health situation emerge. And if you're trying to undo an addiction, of course, this is a same category of energy. And you may be really having to have a kind of showdown within your soul about whether or not you want to continue with that substance or that addictive habit or pattern. And that's the most of the week. And then moving forward into the end of the week, Venus is going to look at Neptune across the way. And that's very much a kind of a lack of a rainbow. That's the shroud of Turin. No, it's difficult. So you have this glowy vibe about the home life. You want this Neptune story to be like my beautiful dream home. And Saturn says, let's get realistic here. Is this really a dream home? If it is, we're going to make it real. But if it isn't, we're not. So this next 3 years into 2026, you Sagittarius are like, what is my dream home? And is it by the water? I hope so. And ocean, please, oceanfront. And there's this thing about the work situation, somebody in the work situation, or your enjoyment of the work, because Venus is up there, that's at odds with what's going on in the home. Now, work and career and purpose, right? So some of you may not be working. You could be retired. You could be a student. But what is this thing that you're visibly doing in the world that you're enjoying? But it's not jiving with this idea that you got this dream home, all right, or dream situation in your home, or your ideal dreamy home situation. Your private life looks hard. It's going to be hard until 2026. Whoever you live with, either they're a hard ass or it's going to be hard to live with them. You're going to feel alone in the company of others. It's going to be a tough call for you if you think the home place is a place of joy. It's a place of constraint. You could feel imprisoned in your home, isolated in your home, lonely in your home. Sorry, that's realistic between now and 26, right? But you can get out of that. You're not condemned to that, but that's kind of a narrative. And with Venus at the top of the sky, who loves her enjoyment and joy, it could be something as simple as you want to go out and do your thing in the public eye, and somebody in the home is going grumpy, not wanting you to go there. For example, it could be a child, it could be a roommate, could be a life mate, could be a family member. Well, let's see what happens. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how that could play out. Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon, rising sign. We love the beginning of the month because there's Venus trining, by the way, your ascendant from the 9th house of Lakshmi, luck and prosperity and all the good things, like Lakshmi house, but also the house of God and spirituality and trips and travel and foreign lands and foreign shores. So Venus is up there. And when we step into Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, you can probably even feel it's Sunday, but you won't get this video in time. You're going to get this glowy flow of some surprise in the house of romantic love, sexual love, your children. Now, for some of you, I keep saying this, some of you Capricorns are going to find out about a grandchild that's on the way. And with that shock and awe, Uranus, this could be the time. But if it's not that, there could be some surprising and positive news, Jupiter, Uranus in the house of children, that one of your children's telling you about, and may have to do with foreign travel, foreign lands, academic stuff, spiritual stuff, winning in a court case or something like that. This also smacks of money luck, Jupiter, Uranus in the 5th house and Venus in the 9th, money luck story, especially with Pluto in your 1st house. So yeah, play the Powerball. I mean, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some of you win a lottery. You could. Creative projects and entrepreneurial projects, consulting and business things like that, with foreign lands and foreigners and foreign shores, opportunities can open double doors to opportunity Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for some Capricorns for whom that makes sense, or a travel abroad opportunity is opening up Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That looks very good on you. Super exciting, very positive, somewhat exhilarating. But as the week goes on, you get that sun opposite Jupiter Wednesday through Friday. Sun opposite Jupiter, there's a clash between a friend or an elder sibling or someone who's a benefactor to you in your 11th house of good spirit, and the clashes to Jupiter in the 5th house of your children, but also the 5th house of your entrepreneurial stuff, the 5th house of your fertility, the 5th house of your romantic love partner. So there's some tension here. You may not be in the tension. You may be observing something too, right? Because, this Wednesday through Friday, this may not even involve you. This may be all happening over there. Like there's a clash between forces in your life. Money. Okay, great gains from your career. You're passionately going to try to create those in life in general. But here we have this moment in time where maybe some exciting solar Mars energy is picking up some speed for you to have a greater career gain financially. You won't get it yet. Mars is invisible until January. Okay, watch my Mars video. Well, it's coming out. But all the things are happening, backroom deals or negotiations with people in power, friends and benefactors, elder brother, sister energies. And yet there's some objection from the 5th house of children, the 5th house of romantic love, the 5th house of joy and play and pleasure. So you might have to square off with someone Wednesday through Friday around those objectives. But then there's a bit of disillusionment or perhaps some stress or frustration from the house of trips and travel, your 3rd house, where you have this Neptune thing going, short distance trips and travel, things to do with siblings, especially younger, but siblings in general, cousins, neighbors, and neighborhood. And this illusion and delusion, foggy retrograde Neptune looking over at Venus in the 9th house of foreign shores, foreign land, romance in a foreign land, romance with foreigners, academic environments and book publishing, things to do as well with 3rd marriages. You may find that there's some opportunity for travel, but you're looking at it more squarely, and you might feel a little bit of disillusionment or some kind of taking off those rose-colored glasses to look at something more squarely. When it comes to your spiritual life, though, Venus up here, she's like a nun. You might find you're also having a spiritual a disillusionment, a spiritual disillusionment, Neptune enlightenment, Venus in the house of God, and you're coming to terms with some letdown here in your spiritual directions in life, Saturday and Sunday. Now, Venus is a female in a foreign place. And so if you're in a relationship with a foreign female, that would mean you're, maybe looking at some travel tension or travel problems or travel disappointments going on there as well. I'm one of you, Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. We have this energy here. This video is turning out to be long, isn't it, guys? We have this energy here. Don't forget to hit the like button, please, 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 and subscribe. We have this energy here of the week starts strong. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you feel that Venus trine Uranus. Well, Venus is in the house of chunky money and Uranus is in the fourth house of home, property, land, and real estate. My example is, for example, I actually gave it for my Aries, but it works even for my Aquarius. I may have an opportunity to rent my property out for just a month and to cover some of my rent when I'm traveling. That could just be simply what that is, because it's about property, right? Uranus in the fourth house of home and where you live. And chunky money is unexpected money coming to you in a chunk that you didn't earn. So that's exactly what I'm looking at now on Sunday. It just came up today, and this is already an orb of what's going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So expect some positive money developments that you're not expecting. So to expect the unexpected, but it comes through legacy wealth, family of origin, inheritance money, money from the mother, money from land, property, home, and unexpected and chunky money. Yay, you. It could be romantic, especially if it involves, hidden romances and, hidden romances. But if it's not a hidden romance in your life that's going to surprise you, then this is really about money. And then as we move on, it gets a little tense in the week as a sun in the house of career and reputation opposes, Jupiter in the fourth house. Jupiter wants to expand your home, enjoyment of your home, pleasure in the home, bounty in the home, faith and hope in the home. He's going to be there through to next May, a larger home, a palatial home. Just wait to that conjunction with Uranus next April. How exciting for your home. But right now, something's going on the top of your sky. You're like at the top of the sky with the sun and Mars. You're passionate, you're driven, you're hardworking around career and reputation. Bosses can favor you right now. Superiors can favor you with that Mars and dignity. A lot of backroom deals and negotiations on your behalf through to January can really up level you in the new year. But at this point, there's tension here between what's going on in your visible career and reputation and purpose and things that are going on in your home. You really feel this strongly Wednesday through Friday. If I use me as an example, like I teach from home, I do classes from home, Jupiter in the fourth house. I am prosperous from my home. I use the internet, Uranus. Probably I'm burning out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It just might be like, I just want to shut down and not do this thing anymore. I'll need some time off. That's probably what it is. But look for tension between your home life. I live alone right now. So if you're living with someone in the home is right and they want their way and you've got another energy in your workspace pushing against it. Then we finish off with Venus opposite Neptune on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And it could be a little bit of a come to Jesus moment around a little bit of a overly glowy story that you made up in your mind about your money flow, your cash flow, your earnings, your possessions. But also, Neptune is about things that we do to escape. He is in a sextile to Pluto as well in the house of self-undoing. And Venus is in a place, the eighth house, where we go deep into the psychology, the psyche, the soul, the deep soul work. And so I think you may look at this, some of you next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, as a real squaring off with sensible Venus about anything to do with overindulgences in a food or a substance that isn't that good for you. I can anticipate this one. My girlfriend's coming back from Palm Springs and I cannot keep up with her or any of the friends that she and I have in terms of their alcohol consumption as much as I'd like to. And it's probably me going, think tonight I won't drink anything with you at dinner. How's that, to my friend? That could literally be that Venus pushback from the eighth house. I'm going to do the thing that's good for my soul, which I found myself doing in Palm Springs already. So, squaring off on addictions. But if it's about a money story, because Venus is in the chunky money and Neptune is in an earnings, watch out for someone trying to swindle you. Honestly, I don't like this at all for that. Like, look for Tinder swindlers. Look for swindling or some, don't take the bait when you get the phone call that the IRS is out to get you and you should call them right away and put a deposit into the account. Okay, that kind of weird stuff can happen for you financially where, someone might try to swindle you or manipulate you on finances that is going to be untrue. So watch out for Wednesday through Friday for that. Certainly make sure your cybersecurity is up to date. And then finally, even losing a credit card could be something as simple as this. And then Saturday, Sunday, Venus is opposite. Oh, I did that. That's Saturday and Sunday. Venus is opposite Neptune. Yeah. So watch out for that financial swindly and slimy energy. And finally, and best, and always best, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. My soulmate James is a Pisces rising. Well, in this story for you, you got to have a nice, delightful surprise coming through the sky on Tuesday, give or take a day on either side, from your significant lover, marriage type partner, monogamous partner. That's me for James, or your business partner, or a legal matter, as all seventh house stuff, or maybe our audience, client, marketplace. So some other is Venus. The surprise is coming through your third house of trips and travel, your third house of siblings, your third house of skills-based learning, your third house of communication, Jupiter, bounteous, Uranus, sudden, exciting communication from and about and with your partner. Now, it can involve travel opportunities with a significant other, or legal opportunities, contractual agreements that involve travel. Jupiter rules your 10th house of career, and therefore it can be a career opportunity, travel opportunity emerging Monday through Wednesday. And then when we move into Thursday and Friday, there is this tension in the sky, and that's the sun in your 9th house of foreign shores, foreign travel, legal matters, courts, third marriages, things to do maybe with your spiritual belief and faith. And you're really passionate right there, right? You got Mars up there for 6 weeks, and he's like really touting his horn about his passionate spiritual philosophy or belief or ideology. And Mercury's like researching or communicating, and the sun is giving you a pastor preacher vibe up there. And all of a sudden it's opposite Jupiter. And this is a righteous standoff, an arrogant who's right energy between the two of them. And it can be that righteous standoff between somebody who's a neighbor, a cousin, a sibling, and some situation that's ongoing in your 9th house. The friction may be something you're watching rather than involved in. For example, also, there may be just a lot of challenges around travel plans here. Desire for a travel plan, but just as Jupiter says no, or, we got to figure out the visas or something. I mean, something's going on here around critical tension around travel. And that's, going on through the week, Wednesday through Friday. On the weekend, though, Venus is opposite Neptune, and that's a little disappointment or disillusionment on the axis of self and other. Either legal contracts or agreements, or someone you have you're in a relationship with, in business or in romance. You've got those rose-colored glasses on, right? You got the Neptune through your sky. This worries me about James and I, because, you're wearing the Neptune glasses, and there's, very realistic energy when Venus is in Virgo. This is really good for relationships. I mean, Venus in the 7th house really does up-level significantly your relationship, no matter what sign she's in. But there's a bit of like a disillusionment or a dispelling of some illusion or some kind of more reality check energy going on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, let's see what happens. And if it's not about your significant other, it can be about legal matters, especially with all that action in the 9th house, and where you're coming to terms with some disappointment or some dispelling of some fantastical thing you thought you could achieve in a matter to do with travel or legal or court matters. Venus rules your house of money that you get through inheritances, you get through the sale of property, and that you share with another partner, like your significant other in business and love. And there may be some disappointment in that area as well. My Pisces rising sister is trying to sell a house with her partner, and there's also inheritance monies involved. And there may be some realism hitting the story on the weekend of Saturday and Sunday. For instance, they get an offer, but it's like way lower than they wanted, and they have to be realistic about the sale price of a house. That's just an example. Thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget, we have a direct motion Saturn coming through on the weekend as well on Saturday, and I don't want to do that video all over again. That would be dumb. I did a whole hour and a half video. It just came out on Sunday the 29th. Please go check it out. Listen for your sign. Go back and get that. I'll put the link to that in the description box. It does apply to this week. It's on Saturday, but I've already covered it, so no one way I'm going to do that whole thing again. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being a part of my channel. Thank you for being a part of my crew. I appreciate every one of you who comes to see me regularly. I really, really do. I feel like so delighted to get to know people and get a sense of who they are over these months that we've been together in the live chats. And if you haven't tried me out in a live chat, come check it out. You might have a lot of fun. There's a real community building and people are knowing who each other is and what's going on in their life. Melissa Carey, you get a lot of support about that sun story from our crew. And Ellie Taylor in Scotland's been telling us about the deluge of rain that's been going on forever. Oh my God, that Taurus eclipse, I dreamt the night of the Taurus lunar eclipse the night before that we were going to have some massive world flood from that. And that's probably a literal dream. So hopefully not. All right, guys, ciao, ciao. Thank you for listening. Big hugs. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be probably the Venus moving into Libra video and or the one for the Scorpio moon in the middle of the month of November. Those two are coming out pretty quickly. Don't forget, try me out. If you haven't subscribed before, you might like my channel. Ciao, ciao.